Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Well, it is Tuesday, and the market seems to have bounced, which is nice. Definitely, but we're definitely not out of the woods. We're still in a correction. Market uptrend is still under correction. We haven't really changed it. We haven't really gotten the follow through day, so we're still kind of in this sort of no man's land. We're kind of in this no man's land where it's tough to trade. I'm almost all in cash, but I have been putting some exposure to the market primarily in spread trades. So I kind of want to show you sort of what's happening. So let's get into the slides. Basically, we're still market trend is still under pressure, and that is a big deal because with it being under pressure like this, we just can't be we just can't go as strong as we'd like to. So I'm primarily in cash, and I tend to remain so until I get a fall through day. But there was some nice action on some of the indexes today. The Dow was up, S&P, Nasdaq, and Nike had some really good earnings. And of course, right before the earnings, I was shaken out. So, gosh, this is a tough market to trade. I was shaken out, but the Nike earnings were good, and they had some nice action on that. I'm only basically in one thing currently, and that's Invitation Homes, and Invitation Homes has been doing well. It's up today, so that indeed is a good thing. So I kind of wanted to show you some trades here that you might be interested in. These are the current option trades that I have currently on, and just kind of want to run through them and show you how we're doing. The first one is the Citi Bear Put Spread. Well, Citi has kind of stayed under that $60 range. It's looking good. So this kind of gives you an idea. This is how it closed today. Approximately, we're in the green on this one, so I intend to keep this one open. And if it moves forward like this, I think it'll be really good. But this is the Citigroup Bear Put Spread that we have on it. It's basically a 62.50 Bear Put Spread, and the options expire on the 21st of January. Hard to believe that. And if it keeps on this trend, we probably will make all the money on this one. So hopefully that'll work. It's looking pretty good up until now. Life storage, I've given back a little bit on this. This is my only bull call spread. This one was a little bit better. I'm going to be monitoring this one carefully. We're still in the green on this one, so not to worry on that. But as this progresses, I do expect this area, this storage area, to do better than most of the other areas. But this one is still in the green as well. Also wanted to show you the Square trade. Now this one kind of faked me out a little bit because Square was going to down and it got a bounce, and I'm going to have to look at this one carefully. I do think though that that the momentum on Square probably will be arrested, but we'll see. We'll see what happens on this one. I'm going to be looking at this one relatively carefully. And I did open another trade today on PayPal. This one's just kind of at the start. It did pop up today, but I do kind of expect this one to move forward. So this gives you kind of an idea. Let's see if I can get over there to the. Okay, let's see. I've got it. Let me pull up the trade the bear put spread on PayPal that I just kind of put out. This is for everybody who's basically on the action trade alerts. I'm going to be putting this out one out tonight, and it's also on. I put this out to everybody on the Discord room, so they're going to be able to see this. But I'm just going to kind of show you sort of how it looks, and so let's get into it. This basically what this is I do expect PayPal to move lower. This is kind of this trade basically. The entry credit on this one, this gives you a credit is about $600, and hopefully, if this thing doesn't pull up too much, we will close for a profit. But currently, Right now, we entered it at 185. It ended the day at about 189. It's in the red a little bit, but if this thing falls, of course, then it will pick up some more steam. So this kind of gives you the idea here. And I've got everything on here with the risk management and stuff like that if you want to see more about this trade. So without further ado, thank you for holding there. And Samuel, basically. CarMax and AXR. Let's look at CarMax. They had some good report today, and we will see sort of how they're doing. Yeah, so let's go to CarMax. There we go. All right, so there we go. There's CarMax. We did get a solid bounce off the 200-day moving average. That's good. You know, this is actually showing fairly good action. It bounced and it's moving higher, and it's higher in after hours. So I do kind of expect it to move up probably a little bit over the 140 range. That's very likely due to this bounce. It came down and then it's bounced here. The question is, can we buy it at this level? Well, you know, it's got a pretty good checklist. So I would say probably, you know, this is possibly actionable here. You know, I'm not really that much of a fan of in this market because of the way it's been. It's basically 2% from the pivot. So really what happened was it round tripped everything, came all the way down here, went up, round tripped, boom, it's back. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, this definitely is, you know, is a potential. But here's the thing. I probably, based on everything, I would probably go a little bit slow in here. But you could enter, you definitely could enter the, you could definitely enter at this point. So, you know, you definitely can, with KMX, you could enter here. I'm not currently in this one, but definitely you could, you definitely could enter in here. It looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks pretty good. I think it's definitely something that you could enter right at about here, because I do think we have a bounce basically here at the 200-day line. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. You know, 200-day line. I think there's a bounce, strong, you know, fairly strong checklist here. 78. The only thing that's really lacking here is relative strength and earnings per share. Let's kind of take a look at some of the technicals on it. Yeah, definitely, it's you know, they're last time they were off about 4%. I don't know what they showed in after hours, but you know, the sales have been really good. The sales have been up. So I would say probably you could enter this. I'm a little bit leery about this one, but you know, hey, that's kind of the long and the short of it. Let's look at Apple. People on TikTok are very interested in Apple, so let's take a look at Apple, see how it's fared today. AAPL, excuse me. Okay, let's get Apple in there. Right, there we go. You know, and Apple is looking pretty good actually. It's holding the 21-day line. Let's go back to the daily to see. Yeah, okay. So it came down to the 21-day line. It bounced. That's a very good sign. So definitely is getting some strength. Definitely getting some strength. Now, one of the things about Apple and some of the other mega cap techs is that they've sort of been holding up the rest of the market. I want to take a look at the QQQ and see kind of what's going on there. So let's look at that. Well, first of all, let's look at the Dow. You know, normally I don't. Normally I don't look at the Dow all that much, but it's been this is the index that today really was the leader. So you know, that's been kind of what's going on here. We had this bounce, and then this is a secondary bounce. So it is, you know, we are getting some strength here. So the question is, you know, what about Apple? Well, you know, I wouldn't go in with a full position now with Apple based on everything, but If you're in Apple, I wouldn't, right now I'm just taking a very much of a wait see attitude. I'm being very, 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 very conservative on my buys right now. I'm just waiting for that fall through day. So I'm pretty much, I'm pretty much out of the market now. I'm just kind of waiting for a sign. And by the way, if you can see, let me just see. You got to go to the, go to. I'm just trying. DGF 447. Yeah. So hopefully that person on TikTok will see that. I can't display charts on TikTok. You have to go here to this DTF 447, and that's the YouTube feed. So you can definitely see it there. All right, let's take a next question. And let's see. Okay, hey Jim. Do you think RAD is preparing for a jump? Probably not, but let's take a look. Let's take a look. Take a look. I don't know what you mean by a jump. Yeah, let's take a look at this. Yeah, no, I mean, yes, there definitely is some volume pickup here, but Rite Aid, it's below the 200-day line. No, I just think this. I just think right now you got to be careful. So no, no, RAD is below 200-day line. Don't buy. Yeah, it's below the 200-day line. I wouldn't buy it just because of that. So below that 200-day line, I don't think it's going to jump. Maybe it is, but it doesn't look like it. So that's kind of my take on Rite Aid. All right. Let's see. Okay, great. Let's see if we can show that one. Hey, Jen, can you see an entry for QDEL? See any target? XPEV. Let's look at QDEL. Okay. Oh, gosh. Some of these stocks are really not that good. Okay, QDEL. An entry point for this? Well, possibly. You could possibly enter above 150. It's 161. So it's a little bit extended. But yeah, I mean, I could see that. You have a buy point here, a cup with handle. It has broken down. So yeah, I mean, you could definitely, the buy point is 153.99. So that's going to be your buy point for QDEL. So let's see, buy point. Let's see, 153.99. So yeah, that's kind of where you can enter it. Yeah, I mean, you could buy this. It's pretty weak. I probably would not be in this one, just because I don't think it's particularly strong stock. It's 106 out of 197. So you definitely could enter it there, but does not really do much for me. Unfortunately, it just doesn't. It doesn't seem to be a very good entry either. Okay, let's look at XPEV. Let's look at XPEV. Right, and this is Chinese company. It is above the 200-day line, which is good. That is a plus. That is definitely a plus that it is above the 200-day line, but it's below the buy point. The buy point on this one, 47.98. Gosh, this is not. Let's kind of look at the whole. Let's look at the whole area here for electric vehicles. Here, let's look at the electric vehicle manufacturers and see if there's anything that we could possibly do here. It's 28 out of 197. So let me pull up that really quick, And see if I can get that up. All right, this is the, let's look at the rank. I was looking for the rank. Yeah, it's 28. So there we go. So what I'm doing here is I'm looking at the automobile manufacturers to kind of look at them as a group. And as you can see, we've been in a downward trend. So XPEV is not a leader in this group. So what I would say is, right now Tesla, of course, is number one. Toyota is number two. But the top stocks really are currently Ferrari, Tesla, and Toyota. So I can't get excited about this one. It just doesn't set up very well. Now, all of the top stocks are off. All the top stocks in the sector are off. So my view here, unfortunately, is I definitely think that it's just it's just not a potential buy. So XPEV is not a buy right now. I think that's really the thing. I mean, I just don't think it is. I don't think it's a buy. I think it's in a downward trend, and let's go to the actual chart for it. It's not, the group isn't doing that well. But a lot of groups are not doing very well right now. This is a tough time in the market because we're not really in a downtrend yet, but we're not really in an uptrend either. So this is the chart for XPeng. It definitely has good relative strength, but I don't know. It's an also ran. I just would avoid this one. 56 checklist. So basically, I think that the idea here is to just avoid this one for right now. So that's what I would do. So I don't think this one really. There's better merchandise out there, and I think that this one just does not cut the mustard. To be honest, it's not that good. So I would not buy this one. Not my not my cup of tea, anyways. All right, Roman, SBLK. Let's look at SBLK. Let's take a look at StarBulk Carriers. This one was doing well last quarter. Let's see if it did bounce off the 200-day line. That is a good thing. Gosh, I was in this. I sold out of it. I just haven't really done much with it. It's got a good checklist. Boy, see, this is where I sold here, and of course, it pulled all the way back down. It rallied, pulled back down, and it's rallying once again. So the question is, can we buy this thing? I would probably pass on this. I right now, I'm pretty negative. I mean, I'm right now just because I just think that the market is going to go another leg down. So I would pass on this one for now. So that's kind of my take on it. I really think you just got to pass on this one. StarBulk just doesn't look as good as I would like to see it. All right, let's see if let's see. Okay, thoughts on Neo? Let's look at Neo and Lucid, and let's take a look in Neo. Yeah. Neo doesn't look very good on either. Neo doesn't look very good either, I'm afraid to say. So Neo, no, this is just, as you can see, this is getting worse. Now maybe there'll be an uptick. I'm hoping there will be, but this is possibly a short. Yeah, this is possibly a short. So I'm going to put this on my list of potential shorts. And Neo is definitely on this list. So potential shorts. And Neo is on that list. So Neo does not look good. Yeah, I mean, I just think, Neo is a potential short. And many times what makes a good short is that it's a stock that's gone up and now is having trouble. And Neo definitely was a high flyer. It moved, well up there, but it does look like it's having a lot of trouble. It's below the two. It's below the. It's below the 200-day line. It's having trouble holding here. I do expect if it moves up to the 10-day line, then it might be shortable. So this one potentially is a short. Yeah, this is definitely getting the head and shoulders pattern. Not really a totally good head and shoulders, but this would be the head here. This shoulder's a little bit high, but this is the X shoulder. So this looking like a head and shoulders pattern, even though they do have a lot of sales, but they're still racking up, losses here. So I think that Neo potentially is a short, but the question is when, and we don't know that. But yeah, this definitely could be a short. It does look like it's having a lot of trouble holding on, and then if it rallies up basically to the 40-day line, I think it could be a short. So I'm going to put that down on my list of potential stocks to short, and that would be Neo. So sorry. I hope I haven't busted anybody's bubble there. I think it's a potential short. Let's look at AR, which is Ontario Resources, and see if there's anything good there. Well, definitely a better looking chart than Neo, that's for sure. Yeah, this is actually looking pretty decent. Relative strength of 98. Let's look at the pattern recognition on this one. We're 27% up from the pivot in 80 days. That's pretty good. We kind of round tripped a lot of this, but it seems like it's continuing back up. So 40 days above the 200-day, that's good. We have a very strong relative strength at 98. Of course, that's for the year. It's above the pivot. I like that. It's a little bit extended, but boy, I think that looks pretty good. I think that stock looks pretty good. So I have to say, Andrew, this one does look pretty good. This one does look pretty good. So I would say that AR is looking good right now. The question is, can you enter it at this point? Well, I would wait for it to pull back, but I think it's getting support at the 21-day line. So, seems to be getting support. The 21-day line. So that kind of looks good, actually. We seem to be getting support that 21-day line. We've got a very strong checklist. 67. Well, not a strong checklist, a good checklist. Yeah, I definitely think that's potential. That's potential. So, yeah, that one's looking pretty decent. That one is looking pretty decent. Well, I've got to take a few more questions here. Probably going to cut it a little bit short today, as I don't have a lot of stuff to say. Thoughts on AMD? Okay, let's look at AMD, and that's probably going to just go about 30 minutes today. AMD. Let's look at AMD and see if we can find out something on AMD. Let's see. I'm going to turn off my pattern recognition here, my markup here. And let's see if I can do that. Yeah. So we had a very convincing bounce off the 40-day line. That is good. That is good. 97 relative strength. Yeah, it's looking pretty strong. It's extended. Boy, it's 100% checklist. Yeah, I like this one right now. So I've got to say, at least for now, I think that, I think for now, AMD is looking very, very good. And, if the, so AMD right now is looking very good. So I think you could definitely enter right here. I'm not in it, but right now AMD is looking very, very good. Well, everybody, I'm going to be cutting it short today, but thank you very, very much. I'm not going to be here on Thursday and Friday, so tomorrow will be the last day that I have, before between the New Year's. But I hope everyone is having a good Christmas season. And what I would like to say is that if you want to get on the action trailer, it's very, very easy to do. Also, if you could like this, would be great. This really helps me out. And so if you could smash that like button, that would be fantastic. That would be really, really great. So please like the thing, that it gets it out to a lot of people. Also, if you're not a member of the action trailer, it's super easy to do. Just go over to www.dallastradingfloor.com. So that's the address that you need to go to. I'll be back here tomorrow at about 3:45. Till then, I hope everyone is having a good holiday season. I'm trying to get all my shopping done, and I will see you back here on tomorrow at 3:45. Happy trading.